Good morning, everybody. It's kind of fun to know that you can chat before my stream even starts. And there's four of us already. It's only 11. Five of us, including me. So that's pretty cool. You should have seen this morning at 10 that your teachers posted everything for the week. Technically for 2 weeks because we do have spring break next week. It'll be it'll be just like normal, this new normal, but no school, which is just like last week. So, your teachers should have some sort of deadline. Most of us are using, good morning, Emily. Most of us are using the next Monday as our deadline because that's what we've been told, but that's not the case for everybody. So, eh. Some people are doing it the very next day at midnight because you do that sometimes. It's fine. Mm. And then on the Google Classroom, not on this one, but on my other ones, I posted an organizational tool that I'm kind of using. I'm using my actual book instead of the online version, but you can utilize that as you will. It's not an assignment, it's just for you if you need it. So that should be there. So, as you can see from my live chat, Donovan's already doing his math homework, which is amazing. But I don't know what's happening over there, so I don't know why it won't let you move on to the next problem. There's only 4 problems. We'll figure it out. Office hours are going to be today from 3 to 4, Thursday at this time, and then Fridays from 2 to 3. So hopefully one of those works for you. If you need to come say hi, you can do a screen share so you can ask me questions. You could just ask me questions using your face or your voice. I don't care. All of those, there's 3 links, one for each day, because I couldn't, because I changed my hours depending on the day of the week. I couldn't just make one link for all of them, unfortunately, but oh well. Hopefully those don't coincide with any meetings I have, so I'll have to move them. Either the meeting or the, you know, the office hours. It'll kind of look like this, except that you'll have little bubbles over here, and it will be recorded, but not on YouTube. It'll just be recorded for me, to make sure that none of you do terrible things. So that's the thing that's gonna happen soon. Actually today. So if you have any non-resume questions or even resume questions, I don't really care. Come visit. Come say hi. Oh, you got it. Wait, why didn't it let you move on? I don't know. Submit. I don't know the buttons. Those are fun. Donovan, let me look into that. But not right now. Don't close it yet. I want to see if you get the points for it before you close it. But I'll check after the stream and I'll email you. Mini bundt cake sounds good. You know, I've been baking a lot and I just keep eating that. Like I make cookies and I just eat them and I'm like, oh, I need more cookies. Clearly. It's probably not healthy. I also have trail mix, so I'm also being healthy. But I totally didn't add chocolate chips too. It's fine. What else? Anything else important before I start with resumes? I don't think so. Oh, it's true. Just close it. Write down what your answers are. Close it. I don't think so. I don't care how long it takes you to do math. I kind of do. I want it to be under an hour and a half to 2 hours. Preferably just 30 minutes would be nice, but Liz, I don't know why NerdWallet won't let you join. You might be underage. I don't know what ages are for NerdWallet though. Well, email NerdWallet and see. I don't know. It'll be fine. Okay. Hey, I learned something new today, which was how to crop these windows so now you don't see all of my face and you see exactly what I want you to see in the resume window. And then what I did was I took the resumes and I changed all the personal information. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. And I kind of have 3 of them, but the third one I didn't ask for permission. So, you know, it happens. Yeah, you're probably fine, Donovan. Just close it, and if you want. I can't check it right now. People will see. I don't want people to see. Okay, so here's one of the resumes that I got. Let me just real quick do an overview of it. So we have information up here, name, email, etc. And then we have some information on this side. What I see immediately, if I was somebody looking at this resume for like a position, I would see that there's a the name here is actually pretty good size, but these education, volunteer experience, etc. are right around the same size as the name, and it shouldn't be. Your name should be the most important thing on this. So what I might even do, let's try 28. Oh, not 228. There we go. And then let's make these go back to, I would say, no more than 14. That might even be pushing it. Emily, a lot of people have done resumes already, and what I do as a side job outside of teaching is I actually fix people's resumes for work. And I had one I found was like, oh, I did this in school and they told me to do this, and it was terrible. It was an awful thing. So your teachers have resumes. They had to have one to get here, but it's not always like one that somebody who's hiring would look for. And then we're going to talk about a couple other things, but that's already a little bit better. Notice that this person did not put their home address. That's totally fine. It really is a new world. In the olden days, we had to put our home addresses because they had to be able to email us. But now it's actually kind of a detriment to you to do it if you're looking for work outside of your current location. So it's really your call if you want to include your mailing address or not, your home address. Some places that are like, hey, we only take people that live here. Would totally love to see that you live in Mount Vernon, but otherwise it's not really important. Plus they can kind of see where you come from here, so it's not a huge deal. My second resume does include their address, and that's also totally fine. What I might do if I knew Google better is I might make this into 2 columns, but it won't let me because it's also in a table. So I would be much better at this if it was not a Google Doc, but it's fine. That's a big mood, right? Okay, so now this person goes into, wait until you're 18, but you should be able to get that card that I was talking about if you wanted to, and you talk to your parents about it and stuff. Just fine, because it's a student one, so you're probably fine. We're referring to last Friday's conversation about credit. So now what I see is this Mount Vernon High School, Mount Vernon, Washington. I don't really like that it's lined up with each other, but I do like the class of 2023, so that you can also say things like graduation or expected graduation date, June 2023, all that kind of stuff. It really doesn't matter. But what I do want to do is have some sort of separation of where it is and also where it is. So let's make this just a little bit bigger. Let's go up to 12. Now here's what I see down here. These are specialty courses. So I might even say specialty courses, because we all take certain classes. We all take math and science and all that. But this is telling me that this student is going into something within technology. So they have the digital literacy, 3D graphics for gaming, computer specialist, and video production. And class of 2023 means he's still a freshman. Or, yeah, a freshman. So that's pretty impressive already for being a freshman. What I might do is that as you get more courses from your school, I would maybe like, if you take advanced video production, I wouldn't list both. I would just write advanced video production and skip the video production part. You don't want to overwhelm them, but these are specialty courses that you've taken. The next thing that I see immediately is on the side here. We have all of these dates, but they're all very differently. Yeah, if I mail it to me and or email it to me, and just in case I could find it, I'll do that. What I see is they're all very different, right? So I see class of 2023, and then this whole thing is listed out what the dates are, and there's that space between the hyphen. And then down here, there's no space behind the hyphen and no dates. Same thing here, and then March 2020 has the whole thing again. So what we're going to do is, and also 4 out of 5 of these are right aligned. So I want to make sure that this one matches the rest, so I'm going to make it right aligned. And then what's going to happen is as you get older, you're going to need more space. So once you get older, you might want to change it to og and nov, but right now it's fine. And then I'm going to assume things because I didn't quite hear back from this person, but I'm going to assume that at Mount Baker Middle School, it probably started around September and probably went, and I'm going to do the space because the other one did, probably went around until June. I'm just assuming. It's probably the same thing here for the FRC, which my dad does. He does robotics FRC for Monroe or Sonoma School District. I don't know why it's doing that. See, that's that thing where it needs more space. There we go. Beautiful. And then March 2020, they got first place. So what I might say down here is you have these FRC, the first LEGO League and the first robotics competitions at the different high schools. What I might say is underneath here, thank you, we might say something like first place district. I can't spell right now. And we might call that FRC because it's first robotics competition. And then what I might do is delete this whole row because that way this is part of this and it doesn't look like everything you do is FRC. Let's make that a box. Oof. There we go. All right, I skipped a lot of things. Let me go back up here. World Harvest Church. So I made this one a little bit bigger so that way it stood out as like a header. I'm going to do the same thing here as this is 12. This is 12. And this is 12. Okay. Perfect. So here I see in Columbus, Ohio, Church Child Program Assistant Leader. It's a lot of information in one line, but that's okay. So took care of children is an important specific thing, but we want those skills that are called transferable. And this is where I'm first going to talk about this, but you'll hear me say this a lot. So another transferable skill from this might be responsible. It might be activity leader. And I might even say child caretaking, because that sounds a little bit better than took care of children. It sounds more specific. I also asked this person what they did with the FRC and the Lego stuff. I would really like to hear back from them and add that to that, because it's really cool that you did FRC, but somebody who doesn't know that might not know why it's so cool. I'm also changing these all to filled in bullets instead of open bullets, because the other ones look like check marks, like you haven't done it yet. And that's just like a thing that we find just in general. Like these are like, I haven't done this yet, I need to check it off my list. Now, here's the thing. This person has independent as one skill and activity, as they have down here with Google Suite. So here's what I want to do. I want to add a new line for skills summary. This is very key to you as a prospect in a company. These are all the things that you are good at that you would bring to the company. So these are things like independent. I'm going to assume some things about this person because I do know them. They have a technical mind. They are a problem solver. And then they have this responsibility piece from below, and they also have pretty good time management skills. So those are 5. You really want to have at least 5 and less than 10 skills that you are the best at, that somebody might say, hey, this kid, they are responsible, or hey, this kid is really great, I can trust them to do what I asked them to do, that kind of stuff. There's something going on here with the header, or the line spacing. There we go. I wanted that to be flush with the top of the other thing. Now what you could do is you could merge these 2 columns together and make them spread out a little bit more. So maybe what I'll do is I'll move these 2 over here. And then I might even try to find a 6th one that this person's good at to put over here. That way there's the whole set of skills. And then I kind of want these to be over just a little bit more. Okay. Donovan, I will email you. So that takes care of this independent piece down here, which is true, but I wanted it to be more obvious. And then I don't really know if I like these skills and activities down here. So let's see. Oh, you know what I could do? Is I could put this up here as Google. Wow. What's it called? Google Suite. And I'm going to say proficient because you did specifically state it as a skill and activity down here. But if you don't feel like you're proficient, maybe a different word would work, but that's the idea. Okay. I am a little bit happier with this. Again, what I'm going to have you do, this person, is add what you did as part of this, and then also tell me how it's transferable. So you should have at least 2 things for both of these. So you'll add that in there. And then because you have a little bit extra space, we're going to insert a row below. This will be your references. And you sometimes don't need references. Sometimes you can say that they're available on request. That's usually something that you do if you do not have room for them. This is too big. Look at these. Those should be the same size as everything else. There we go. So what you can do is you can put your 3 references down here, or 2 references down here. You can put 1 on each section here because there's 2 different columns currently, and that'll help you with that little piece of this. Some people will put references as a separate page. That's totally fine. With the amount of stuff that you have on here, I would absolutely just leave it on here. That's perfect. And then nothing here is too shortened, but let's just, where's that one? Hey, I'm just gonna make this section a little bit bigger. Maybe, yeah, that way that'll line up. And then again, if this isn't a thing that you did, please tell me. Don't tell me on here. Like, I'll send this to you, and then I can help you update it. And then just as a FYI, once you get a different education, higher education, don't worry about this one, okay? The only reason you should still have your high school education on your resume once you get into college or a trade school is if you had like a stellar GPA, like 3.9 and better, like stellar, because then it's really cool. But otherwise you're like, why are they holding on to their high school? Haven't they grown up? They really should move on from that. And so that's something that you want to show that you're upgrading continuously. Don't keep stuff on here. Also, once you get a job that pays you money, you might want to pare down your volunteer experience and extracurricular activities to just maybe take out the middle school part, perhaps, and then you can just have the high school one, and you keep like recycling and getting rid of the old stuff. That looks better already. I love it. I'm gonna make this all one thing. Yep, Beautiful. Okay, so that was resume number 1. Let me show you another one. So see how this one's all on the left side. Everything's over here. We really want to separate this out so it's more readable, because the eye is just going to go in a big old C shape and it's not going to help very much. So we want to make it visually appealing. I do like the size of this name, 24. I don't like the size of these. Let's go back down to 14. I'm not the end-all be-all on this, but I do want it to be good. Also, usually, this is the only time I ever grade in red pen, is when I look at somebody's resume and clean it all up. Okay. Now, this person does have a skill summary. I will point out one thing about it, though. First of all, it's all on the left, so it's just slammed together. And the other thing is that everything's lowercase after the first letter except for this one. I don't remember if I did this or not. I don't know if you fixed it after or went back. But we do want to, we want to keep everything the same, because that shows a good attention for detail. And that's basically what my job is when I do this. Where's my columns? Format, columns, 2. Let me make sure this is showing up on the thing right. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, beautiful. So that's your skill summary. That's been, Arliz, I made a mistake. am I fixing my own? Good morning, Lauren. That's totally fine. Okay. This is probably one that I did super quick before printing it off after school before you went to your interview, huh? You're not gonna answer me for a little bit, so I'll just keep on keeping on. Okay, so these are all, I want these to be separated more, because we do want, I want this to be down here. And then let's add a little bit of jazz with an indent, or with a, what's that called? Italicized. So you had a certificate of completion for your state nursing assistant training program in Mount Vernon. And then this, do we know what, hey, you're here and don't care that people know this is you. When was this? Did we ever figure that out? I'm going to bullet these ones, because that way I can do the expected graduation date on the side. Last year, okay. So that was 2019. Yeah. Okay, so you have ASL interpreter classes for 2 years. See how this one says expected graduation date? That's normal. It's not like, I'm not going to graduate, or this is when I think I'm going to. It's just, that's just what they say when it's in the future instead of in the past. So this is somebody who is going to be graduating soonish. Mount Vernon High School. And then I made the other one, so. Yeah, see, I still don't like that there's doubles. It's all good. Mount Vernon, Washington. Okay, so we have your certification. I don't know what BLS is, but if you're going into something with healthcare, it's clear that you have, they would know what that is. Basic life support. Ooh, I figured it out. Alright, and then your work history. So now this is probably tabbed over a lot, but not all the way. So I'm going to tab it once. I said tab it once. And then I'm going to add a right tab stop. And then make sure it's all the way to the right. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. So only tab it once. Right tab stop. Tab it over. That way they're all the same, and it's not just because of the tabbing. Anytime. I don't want people to know your phone number on YouTube forever. Or your address and stuff. You're going to get some spam. That's what I did when I was stressed out about the thing posting online. I want this to have like a thing. Like March. Ooh, what happened? 2019. So, wait, you fix this. Let me know in the comments. Okay. And then, what was it called? I still want to get rid of this. I didn't like it the first time either. You can put it back if you want. Okay. And then I'm going to make this one italicized like the other ones. Also, it's too far in. Why is it too far in? See how these are all a little bit farther over here? So we're going to make everything else go back. Okay, well maybe I won't. Why? How did you get these ones to do it? Alright, undo a lot. There we go. Okay. Was it an actual full year? Okay. Well, then I'm going to add a left-hand stop at the same level as the rest, and that'll be the end of that. There we go. Or just move this thing over. Hey, I figured it out. You guys, I am the best at Microsoft Word. This Google Suite, I need to be like the last person I just had the thing for. Google Suite is not my jam, but I'm figuring it out. I'm just a lot slower at it than I would be at Microsoft Word, which is fine. I'm getting old and I'm learning new things, like how to crop my face, because you only see this part. Okay, so then September through June. It still fits. Okay, cool. All right. Ta-da-ta-da. Accurate orders at the front desk. Okay, so what we're going to say here, we don't need the whole thing. We're going to say customer service. Wow, service. Front register. And then, why do we put politely at the end there? Clear and polite communication. And that's with everybody. We don't talk down to anybody. Also, this is not to current, so everything here is past tense. And then I'm going to say accurate. Register. And then I capitalize this one again. All right, and then your deli, bakery, and meat department. That's an Oxford comma now. Same thing with the thing. Okay, providing good customer service to all customers, cleaning the food service area. We're going to say assuring clean work areas. Accurate. Okay. So then here's the thing that we have to look at the big picture for. You should be the same as everything else. I said accurate twice right here, and then you have accurately reporting hours, problems, and areas of concern. So we're going to choose a different action word. So instead of accurately, we're going to say immediately. That's fine. I'll come back to this. I might have to look at this again later. Because immediately reporting problems and areas of concern makes sense, but immediately reporting hours doesn't quite make sense. So there's another word that's supposed to go there, but I'll figure it out. So see how I cleaned it up? So it's easier to read. Everything's kind of all over the place instead of all on the left side, so it doesn't make that C shape anymore. And it's all like visually balanced. I don't know if I can zoom out on this and you'll see the whole thing. Let me check. A little bit more. Because I did the thing. See how it's all, you can't read it right now, but from far away it looks a lot better. So that's an important step. And then something I do want to do is I kind of want to move these over here because they're longer. And if we think of one more, that would be good here. I think it took us this long to get 7 though. But 5 to 10 in your skill summary. Work history's down here. Education's good. Responsibly. Oh my gosh, you're so smart. Okay. Beautiful. Look how much better that is. And here's the thing, you guys. These are works in progress. These are continually growing and learning, or growing and changing. And so just because I did this recently, and then changed my mind, doesn't mean it wasn't pretty good the first time and even better now. There we go. I have to make sure that you can see everything. And then I just want to make this be add space after paragraph, and then delete my extra space I added, because there was just something weird about the spacing, and it was because it was a space after and not an enter one. Okay, beautiful. This is not, I'll send this to you because I had to make a copy of it so I could delete all your stuff. That information right there. And again, I talked about this with the other one, but you don't need this. It's not going to hurt you, but it isn't necessary. So that's all good. And then I might even add like a statement on the top that says student with good work experience and passion for nursing. Continually helpful and honest, something like that. It's not saying that you're looking for anything, it's just saying who you are in like a, it's that 30-second elevator thing that they keep talking about, maybe you haven't heard of yet. And then I want these to be the same size as everything else, so I'm gonna make them 11. And then you also can add your references down here, but it's a little tighter for you. So maybe you can say references available upon request. Ah! No, not everything. And then that's way too big. There we go. So then you have that at the bottom. Beautiful. I might make this I can make this 2 columns here. Hey. If you decided to get rid of your address, you would just do the 1 column, but I kind of like this spread out a little bit more. Beautiful. Okay, please ask me your questions about making a new resume and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go back to my face so I can pull up my email and see about Emily's. Because I grabbed one more just in case I had extra time, but I didn't get her permission for it. She had just sent it to me. But I do want to actually show it if Emily's is not up to par, you know. Ooh, yeah. No, Emily, this is perfect for me to edit. Make a copy. Oh, you already got rid of your name and stuff. I don't need to do that. Hey. Yeah, this is a beautiful mess. There it is. Why is it a little off center? What do I need to do? Hey. It's okay, I can edit it from here. I can fix this. That was the wrong button. I'm currently editing in my video editing software, so that way you can see the whole thing. Oh, you know what? It's because it's so far over. There we go. Alright. Again. Maybe not big enough. Way too big. Let's go back down to 12. Okay, perfect. And then you see how this is way over here? This should not be way over here. And then you shouldn't see all these boxes. And you should never say I. So let's go through this. And that was what I wanted to show you in my other resume. That she, or he, kept saying I could, I helped. And so I wanted to show that, but I'm glad that I can show it here. I just showed all my emails. Let me get rid of that. So first of all, I want to move I want to move this bar way over here to actually be a normal setting. And then I don't like this. Delete row. Okay, cool. So good. So far, so good. Let's make this 2 column again. And that should be over there. And that should be with the other ones. Mount Vernon, comma. Okay. Beautiful. And then once again, and you've heard me say this already, you don't need the address, but if you want to keep it there, I would do it in 2 columns. Okay. These are good title sizes. Okay. So you did the thing where you said class of, we don't need your middle school. It's really cool that you went to middle school, but everybody does if you're in high school, so we're just going to get rid of it. Not important. Irrelevant. And then I'm going to make your locations italicized. We can figure that out. So here's your work experience. Good. Babysitting is an important work experience. But let's talk about the transferable skills. Okay? So when you so babysit, what I'm going to have here is not that it was for my neighbor. I want to say the ages of the kids. So either tell me, or I'll just write in ages, so that way later we can come back to this. And then, so you work with the kids. So I'm going to assume from my babysitting experience that you entertained. You cooked. How about this? You provided healthy meals. If not, we can go back to cooked, but we provided healthy meals. And I bet you did some conflict resolution. Wow, I can't spell right now. Resolution. Perfect. I'm going to go in numerical order. There. Okay. So then here's the fun thing. This is one of the things that somebody I worked with had on there. He was like, I like whatever it was, mudding, because it's cool. Not important. If these things are important to you, you're the racing, which I know they are. You have a huge heart for sprint cars. They don't have a place in the resume. What you can do is throw them in there for babysitting. What you can do is throw them in there as things that you would do at the track, but it's not a thing that you would put in there. And then we have the healthy meals up here that you cook, so I'm also going to get rid of this extracurricular down here, which makes it seem like you don't have a lot on here, but we'll fix it. Okay, and then you got a medal for orchestra? Tell me more about that in the chat. I just spilled my tea, and not in like a way that I get in trouble for, just in general I spilled it. Oops. And then I put a period there. Alright, I'm gonna come back to that once you tell me. And then art. So those are your skills and not your awards? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Alright. I don't like any of these boxes. So much better. Those don't look the same height, but they are. Okay. I'm waiting. Here's what I'm looking for. Tell me more about the medal for orchestra, and then let's talk about your skills and awards that are separate. Also, I think it's a medal. Yeah. It could be a shiny medal, but it'd still be a medal. Ammonite, talk to me. Alright, I'll just, oh, there we go. Aww. Okay, so here's what we're going to say instead. When did you start playing the violin? At least since 8th grade. Okay. Shoot, you're a freshman. So 4th grade was 5 years ago. So that would have been September 2015 to June 2019. Do you still play violin? It's 2015, is that right? I don't think I said that. Violin. Okay, cool. So I'll say present. Now here's the thing. This is why you beefed it up with all the extra stuff that you really like, which is irrelevant. You have very little things now. So we'll put in rare references, and then we'll make your name just a little bit bigger, not like crazy big. And then let's talk about your skill summary, because I really think everybody needs one of those. Passion for racing. I'll put here as your skill summary to show that you're passionate about that. What do you want to be when you grow up? Home friendly. I'm sure it's something with racing. I haven't seen it yet. If that was, I don't want to like pretend like I've seen it ahead of time. I hate that the chat is so much slower than when I talk. That's true. Well, is that what you want to do? I'll put that there. And then I'm trying to think about what you are in class. You're calm and friendly. Not very focused, so I'm not going to put that. We'll keep it there. We need to think about more of those. I want 5. These are the age of my nephew and niece. Nephews and niece. All right, then you put your references there. You do talk a lot. How do we spin that pleasantly? Outgoing. I did it. There's your 5. Okay. All right. And then this is something that you'll undo when you get to be a little bit older and wiser. Is that you'll make these a little bit less spread out because you'll need the space, but right now you need it to be more filled out, and so we're gonna do that. I wouldn't make it crazy big because that, you know how sometimes when you're trying to write a paper and if you change it to size 13 font it gets a little bit bigger, but if you make it size 16 your teacher will definitely notice. It's the same thing. You want them to be a little bit bigger but not noticeably so. So we're just gonna spread it out a little bit, put your references here, and we'll call that good. And then if you have actual months, I would like to put those here like we did September through present. But that looks pretty good. And that's about the length of time that I've done most of these. I did want to show this I nonsense. This is one I already have fixed. But we don't... Okay, here's the thing. You don't use the word I ever in your resume. They already know you're talking about yourself. You do not use the word I. You start with action words. Helped, organized, cleaned, time management. You start with things that show what you do. You don't start with the word I because they don't read those and you don't want those there anyways. And also this is really, really pretty, but would be illegible. Sometimes when you apply for a job, they put it through, there's a word for it, but they put it through a computer that digitizes it and just changes it all to be one document. And I say one document like it's not already one document. But what it would do is it would just read it left to right, and it would read Head Start, Schedule Volunteer, Hardworking, December 2019 Go-Getter. I helped with anything I could, organization, clean storage space, etc., organized. And so it would start to be jumbled, and then the people that read it once the computer's done with it would be like, what does this have to do with anything? So you really do want to stay away from columns like this where there's something here and then something right next to it on the right. We did a fairly good job of staying away from that. The address phone number might be a little messed up, but down here it'll actually read that correctly with the date next to that. And then same thing back here. These would all be, it reads bullet points just fine. So these would all be things that the computer would fix, and then it would be read right. So you're all good. So we don't want to do this though. So we would want to change this. This is a Microsoft Word. I recognize this one because I've done this for so long. This is a Microsoft Word resume template, and it doesn't flow well. And it's also like the light gray and the blue won't print well, especially if they have an older printer or a non-color printer, which most places don't. And so you don't really want to do that either. As for the flow of your resume, you do kind of want it to be like this: who you are, some skill summary, just 5 to 10 bullets of what you're good at, what somebody might say. If you don't know, this is where you brag about yourself. If you don't know, ask somebody that knows you really well. Ask your best friend, ask your mom, ask your boyfriend, ask whoever. What is good about you and what somebody would want to hire about you, and then write that in your skill summary, whether or not you believe it. Because maybe you'll believe it one day. Some sort of education. Again, once you get to the next level, you erase the previous one. So once Emily goes to college, she'll erase the education stuff from Mount Vernon High School. And then, or if she doesn't go to college, which is totally fine, and go straight into drawing at Skagit Speedway, which is what she's probably going to end up doing, you would leave this on here. And then as you get more work experience, like as I get something that's, you know, cooler than babysitting, not that babysitting is not the coolest thing ever, that maybe shows the conflict resolution skills that we have here. Ooh, time management. We even organization. Don't let me lie for you. If anything's not true, take it off, but that's the idea. Yeah, I should. I usually keep these like under an hour. I know I'm getting close, but Lauren, if you email it to me, I'll just fix it and I'll send it back to you. You're all good. So these are all things that you would want to put under work experience. Once you get new work experience, you get rid of the old one. Especially if there's things down here that's repeated multiple times in your resume, you really only want to show that you can do conflict resolution once. Really driving it home on every single one gets a little tiring. I helped somebody with a resume that literally every single one was a repetition of the line before it. And I was like, yeah, okay, you work in education. Education's the same thing all the time. But what if you specified that part in this work experience and then this one in this work experience? That way it's not so, that way there's not as much repetition and people don't get tired of reading your resume because they don't want to get tired of reading your resume. And then being an orchestra, something that sets you apart. Being an orchestra shows that you have a focus and a drive that some people don't have, and so that's something to mark in there. Telling somebody that you're good at drawing is good, but showing that you're in like AP art history or something would be cooler. So you do want to show them, not tell them. That way they're not going to be like, hey, draw me a picture while you're in the interview, but they do want to see what you're doing that's cool, that's different than somebody else that they might be interviewing. And then for your references, 3 is probably good. They really just need a way to contact them. Finding out your teacher's home home addresses are not important on your resumes. Really, just what you want is who they are, their relation to you, and then some way to contact. Phone number or email is preferred. And then don't put anybody on your references before telling them that they're on your references or asking them politely, because what you don't want is you don't want somebody to call them and say, hey, Emily said that you are okay having a reference, and they're like, wait, what? Since when? So you really do want to either warn or ask politely somebody. These are people that are not related to you, or at least not doesn't have the same last name as you. I totally use my stepmom on my references. It's a thing. But it's somebody who's worked with you and can see your work ethic, or somebody who's at school with you and can vouch for that, or somebody in your family that can say how cool you are. Like Emily would put in her babysitter, the babysitting mom or dad if she can, maybe a teacher, and then also maybe somebody else that she works with, maybe at the Speedway. So those are all the things that you want to include in terms of your references. I didn't want to like start putting my information on there, but you can ask me. It's okay. It's not okay just to do it, but you're okay to ask me. Okay. I love resumes. I could do this all day, but I do need to go eat lunch and do some other stuff before my next meeting, which is going to be so much fun. And then if you want to come hang out at 3 o'clock today, I'm going to be on Zoom. I have a link in the Google Classrooms, not this one, but your normal Google Classroom, because I don't want to overwhelm you with all of the stuff. You can just come hang out, come ask me your questions, and then I will check on Donovan's homework to make sure that he doesn't have to do it twice. Wouldn't that suck? All right. Our Liz tells me that I'm always kind of glitching out at the end here. So, yeah. One day you'll work there, Emily. I believe in you. But I'm sure you have a family friend there that would love to vouch for you as a person. That's all they want. Okay. Plus, they don't usually call anyways, but it's good to just have it on there just in case. So I'm going to try to put on my my welcome screen again and then turn off the stream to see if that helps. We'll see. We're going to try new things. Okay. I'll see you later. Okay, bye.